Okay, I think that should do it. Yeah. Okay, good. God, why does it sound so loud on my end? Oh my God, it's too slow. No. Wait, this is time of day. What's the matter? It's underground. There we go. Oh my God, this feels so much better. The ×5 speed has spoiled me. It must be my headphones then. I must have put it louder than. Huh, that's weird. Huh. I didn't know that was a thing with my headphones. I found a setting I didn't understand. It makes that waterfall a lot louder. Alright, let's see. Howdy. Good to see you, Xavier. Sorry if I am a little low energy today, chat. I have had an incredibly tiring week. Alright. I'm stealth. Ah, here it is, right? Wait. What? Okay, sure. Okay, sure, game. Whatever. That's the only thing I don't like about this camera. Sometimes it doesn't work. I should have checked before we started the stream, but... Yeah. Back in Oxtella for the Checks Notes 40th time. Yeah, I gotta get some screenshots for one thing in particular. We'll see if we want to do anything else after that. By the way, the new Armored Core patch came out and it nerfed Boltius, Sea Spider, and Ibisel 240, the boss you were stuck on. Wait, what? Wait, what? It nerfed the bosses? What the fuck? No! Don't do that! What the fuck, FromSoft? Like, those bosses did not need a nerf. Whose bright idea was it to nerf them? That's dumb. Is there a reason why the game now doesn't recognize it? Like, hello? Yeah, like, is there a reason you're... Oh, is it, did I pick the wrong one? Let me double check. Let me quit out. Do this now. It also buffed most of the rifles and machine guns. Well, that's good, because honestly, those feel kind of underwhelming, so I can see those getting buffed. The nerf specifically to Cell decreased the damage of most attacks by 15 to 20%. Huh. I mean, I can see that. I guess maybe we'll try with my Plasma Spider again, but I'll be honest, I don't like that. My problem with that fight is not the damage. It's the stupid, annoying lock-on and the constant dodging. Like, it just never stops, period. It just constantly, it's like, oh, okay, now I have an opportunity. Nope, I'm already dodging out of it. It's like, goodness me. Like, if you want to make something evasive, like, at least have the HP or something. But, like, the damage? The damage isn't the problem with that fight. So yeah, I highly disagree with FromSoftware's decision to nerf. None of those... I mean, again, Boltius, you guys saw it. Boltius was a joke for me. Like, what? It took me, like, 6 tries, and that was just me, like, learning each of the individual moves while I was kind of, like, half screwing around for most of those attempts. So it's like... It's not a crazy fight. You just need to build for it. Just like most of these fights. You're supposed to try to build for them. And if you don't, well, you're going to have a tougher time. What a shocker. Like, I could have probably beaten the Sea Spider with my Plasma Spider if I ended up re-strategizing. Because the strategy I was using, though I thought it was pretty good, was just not consistent with the way cannons were working. Which, again, I still don't quite understand what's going wrong there, but, you know, we've seen it outside of just that boss fight, so I think it's just the way it works with the targeting from high above an enemy. Oh, right. Anyway, my point is... Should have turned this on before logging in. Gosh, they all see me, chat. Alright, so we're gonna go here. Game speed, times 5, yeah, okay. We'll reset first. Anyway, where's I? Oh yeah, anyway. I could have probably done Sea Spider with Plasma Spider if I beat my head against the wall hard enough, but I just decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take another build and just do this with my machine gun build. And was it a little slow for the build? Yeah, of course, because guns blazing, like we said, there's a reason why they're buffing machine guns and assault rifles. They're a little low on the DPS side and they don't give you good stagger either. So it's not like, oh my god, you're breaking enemies constantly with the constant gunfire. No, you don't. So yeah, I can see why they want to buff those. Those weapons are just underwhelming, period. They don't have enough pluses to go with their minuses. Outside of Gatling guns. Gatling guns are really good. I hope they didn't buff Gatling guns, because if so, it's like, why? They're already like the best weapon of that class. Haha, robot game easy mode. Well, yeah, exactly, exactly, Nardi. It's like, why? Why? My armored core, I must gatekeep. Wait, what? I'm on stealth. Did I not rest? I did. Alright, we'll reset this way. I have a build that obliterates all the bosses, so this will be awkward. Yeah, it's like, again, if you've already found, like, the perfect build that works for, like, each and every... Okay, something's going wrong here. Why is this so difficult? Why can I not just have everything working? Like, the times 5 speed is working, but the always stealth isn't? Let me try it one more time. There we go. Okay, now you don't see me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have a different opinion when I'm going into there, but I don't like the sound of nerfing the bosses. I didn't see your Baltius fight, unfortunately. Really, Xavier? I could have swore you did. I thought you were the one who was telling me how you had such a tough time with it, and then I kind of like trivialized it because I had the guns that destroy a shield instantly. It must have been someone else. I don't play these games for the bosses, so I don't care. Yeah. Well, yeah, the boss fights themselves, like, it's not like the worst thing in the world. Armored Core is still going to be a strong game, even if the bosses are a bit weaker. It's just like, you didn't need to nerf them. Why are you doing so? I don't understand it. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not. Don't worry. Let's see. The Sea Spider nerf was to its defense. Basically, it changed its energy and explosion resistance from around 25% to around 0%. I don't remember the exact value someone said. Huh. It was only 25%? I mean, it felt like it was pretty tanky against my thing, but you know what? That might have just been the raw HP, and the plasma thing put it over the top. I mean, I guess. No, they didn't buff Gatling gun and the heavier linear rifle. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Because it really didn't need it. I approve. Was that already destroyed? I have no idea. I think there's a better chest I can choose. Actually, here's a question. Is it just the chest, or do the vases also have that imagery? I don't see it. It looks like it's just a bunch of leaves. Black orb-like forms. I'm actually curious if this is unique to Noxtella, or if we see these pots in Nokron too. I assume we do. I can't imagine they wouldn't reuse the asset. Nothing special here. Nothing special here. Yeah, okay, so it's those specific chests. Gotta go here. We'll do this too. Also, the fuck? Say what? Huh? Huh? It's the magic puddle, chat. Up. No, it's not. Damage is buffed across the board. Most had reload time buffed as well, and some had fire rate. I assume that wouldn't be the machine guns because they already like have like instant fire rate, but I can see that with the rifles, though that might be a little awkward because they have like a certain rhythm to them, so that might make them be like. Because I imagine it's going to go from like pew 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 to something like pew 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 pew. That might be a little weird, but we'll see. I imagine things will be buffed and debuffed again as time goes on. I'm sure. I'm not sure what the reason was. Was it because people were bitching and moaning about Baltius so much because they refused to buy a pistol or just deal with it by getting good? Like, I don't know. They said they'll do a PvP focus patch later. I guess they're taking their time and seeing how the meta is going to shake out. Well, for the fact that they're doing like PvP patches, I'm totally okay with. My question is, if they're gonna do it like with Elden Ring, and they'll do a separate PvP and PvE balancing, because that might make things awkward. Because then that means that any of your knowledge about weapons and stuff, like how fast they fire and shit, may not carry over. So I'm hoping it'll just be like damage and shit. Like they'll just try to affect the raw DPS numbers, and otherwise they'll just make sure that all the like I guess the quality of life stuff, like how fast the weapons fire, all that stuff stays consistent between both. That would be my ideal, but we will have to see. Okay, can I stick this to the wall or something? Like, this is getting ridiculous. There we go. There we go. Would I like to have done this with a closed chest? Yes. Do I care enough to try to get back here with my other character? No. Let's see. Woman with the Voss. Trying to find the ideal angle. Surprisingly, this seems to be it. Okay, what if I do this? Oh god, this feels weird. This feels so weird, chat. Yeah, if I get any closer, it's gonna just look blurry and shitty, and this isn't gonna work. Okay. Anything else in Oxtella we want to get shots of? I already got shots of this thing, I think, from different angles, but let's do it from here now. Yeah, so it does look like whether or not the Black Moon of Noxtella, like I hypothesized, or I should say postulated, was here in this little crevice hole. There's definitely seems to be a sign that the Dragonkin soldier drops down from that hole. Which again, they didn't have to do that. Which again sort of adds to my belief that it does in fact relate to this idea of the Black Moon hanging from this specific spot. Which also explains why they put the crypt chair here. Because you have to ask yourself, they put one crypt chair here in their big fancy church, right? So they have this one big fancy church where they're putting in a crypt chair, right? Doing their damnedest and all that. And then you have another one that's been placed all the way down here outside of the main city. Like literally in the aqueduct area. Why would you do that unless it was to kind of work where you're like, okay, our city structure will be built around here, so we can study the moon. And then when we're going to create our Night Lord, we build the Crypt Chair here, underneath our Black Moon. And then something probably happened that destroyed it. Because that seems to be the thing. Whenever they put someone in their chair, something shitty happens to them. I'm so curious why these buildings are destroyed. I do not have an obvious explanation for that yet. Yeah, this is just that Ainsel River crap. Are you flipping kidding me? Well, chat. Yeah, like, was there a surge or something here that, like, flooded and destroyed these buildings, and now it's back to normal or something? No. Also a bit curious that these guys are here. I don't think we find the normal ones in many places. Let me think. I think these are in Volcano Manor, and that's it, right? The rest are either crystallized or they're dead. Also, all that just for Celestial Dew, huh? A lot of snake snails. I mean, I hate it. Get that stupid. There we go. Oh, of course you're a frickin'. You piece of shit. I hate you. You just had to be a ×5 room boy. Girl, whatever you are. Yeah, you always want to do the right. There we go. That's cool. I don't think we need the close-up shot. Hey, Nicolino! You see the picture I posted about the helmet in the Radon weapons pile? Yes, I did see that, Xavier. Yeah, sorry I didn't respond to that or what have you. But yeah, that I noticed right away. That stood out to me immediately. It makes me wonder because we also see we see the occasional like bandit or mixed in with like a bunch of like quote unquote soldier graves, right? So you have like the standard like crossbow person, the militiaman with the spear, the knight, and then like every now and then you have one or two quote unquote bandits, right? As the ashes would identify them. And I have to wonder if they're just used as like an alternate version of a soldier. It's like, oh, we want to have more variety for our, you know, dead soldiers being resurrected from this graveyard, so we'll just use the bandit quote-unquote model. I don't know whether or not that means that they originally planned for it to be something other than the bandit when they were designing it, but I'm just saying I think that's a case of recontextualization. Yeah, nothing I'm really crazy about. The lightning thing is interesting now that I think about it, because the whole thing with Dragonkin soldiers is they use ice lightning instead, but they managed to get real lightning here, so... what happened? Was it maybe the Silver Tears that caused the destruction of the buildings too, maybe? Because I think that area is the only one where we don't see these Silver Tears. The rest of them, they're all over this river. Decisions. Also, chat, I'm going to throw this one to you. What do you think's up with the slugs at Castle Sol? This has perplexed me since I first saw it. And I haven't been able... like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of, like, a discovery with it. Like, I feel it. But I don't think I'm there. Right here. So we have this little side room, and you have all these slugs in here. for some reason. It's an area with like some bookshelves, I guess, but it's mostly just a little storage chamber on the side. I don't think the item here is particularly notable. Like, what is it? Like, poison bloom maybe or something? Like, it's something very mundane. Because, like, it's very odd to have slugs up here at all. So my first thought is, okay, maybe they're burning slugs that got cooled off and they no longer burn? But why? Like, would the burning slugs, the flame they have, be used for the eclipse somehow? Is that the idea? And they're just, like, keeping them over here on the side because they took away their fire and they don't want to kill them, I guess? Like, it's kind of like, hey, you never know when you might need some giant slugs. Yeah, so it's like, that's turning over my head, and I'm not entirely sure. Dirty slugs? It's Kegare, of course. Miyazaki's just like, not enough impurity. Gotta add just a little bit more of that filth. I don't know, I'm thinking about the mealworms from Armored Core. Those things freaked me out, chat. I'm just like, okay, how big is my mech? Like 10 meters or something? Those things are at least like a solid meter tall. At least. So they're at least the height of a man. Probably the height of 2 men. That is kind of terrifying. What do you think of the Liurnian notes you've seen so far? So far, nothing that stands out to me too much, Nardi. I have to kind of sit down, though, and go through all my stuff for Godric and Godfrey, though, again, to double-check, because there may be some stuff I'm missing that'll be more obvious when I'm looking at the patterns. But nothing, like, immediately sticks out to me where I'm like, oh, yeah. Do the slugs have any notable attacks? Are they poisonous? Ooh, that's a good thing to check, Platy. Let's double-check that now. I think they're just standard, but let's remove stealth. It's doing something. I think that's poison, but let me double check. Alright. Nope, that doesn't actually poison me. So they definitely have the dirty slug attack, right? And they have maggot. Oh! Oh! I get it. I get it. 'Cause they have maggots, chat. I get... Okay, right. So the idea... Oh. Let me get out of here. Alright, it clicked. It finally clicked. I get what they're doing now. Okay. So we all know, Castle Sol. It's right below the giant graveyard filled with those who live in death. I.e., this entire area has been infested by Deathroot, right? Everything, right? We also know that Castle Sol got invaded by someone or something. There's a Lion Guardian here, but basically besides the Guardian, everyone here is dead except for Niall, right? Commander Niall, right? He's the last one standing. You clearly see huge break-in, wall / drawbridge or whatever this thing was supposed to represent destroyed. Obviously the gate thing is raised here. The arrows everywhere. These defenses that they set up to deal with the enemy line. The tons of graves inside the building representing a siege. So they were besieged. They didn't have the chance to bury them either at the Coffin Cemetery out back or of course up here from the original battle. So you got all that going. Woo. Then you have, of course, those slugs there in that side room. And pretty much everyone's dead. And they have the same models as Stormveil, so you have the quote-unquote death root, as we've talked about before. It's obviously not death root when you look closely at it, it's just ordinary briar thorns, but clearly that whatever the original lore for that was, they changed it to fit with Stormveil's lore of the idea of, oh, look, that thing underneath is Godwyn's face, and it's causing all this terrible destruction to Stormveil and the people that are operating there, right? So the fact that we see these same briars here tells us that these exile soldiers have been in Wow, sucks to be you, huh? Anyway, that these exile soldiers have been dealing with those who live in death. So very clearly, it's like, oh, okay, those who live in death were clashing with the with Castle Sol, probably because they were doing some sort of soul ritual or whatever in order to, you know, cause the eclipse and all that junk. And I assume that an eclipsed sun is very, very bad to those who live in death and the death in general, because it's sort of like, you know, it restores the soul who those who have died and gives them true death and blah, 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 right? All that. So whether it's like the power of death as a concept has like compelled them to go down there and assault, or it's just, you know, something more like, I don't know, they don't want to die and they're interested in self-preservation or whatever, that they come down and attack it, right? So that was how far I got with the lore as it was. So I kind of feel stupid for not realizing this. But yeah, much like with the briar thorns here, we have these slugs with their maggots, much like how the those who live in death and the death blight can cause summon maggots. So it's the same idea here. So these are probably burning slugs that got afflicted by death root, so it cancels out the fire and turns them into these dirty, filthy slugs. Thankfully, they don't cause death blight though, because that would suck. We don't need frickin' basilisks in disguise. Anyway, there we go. I feel much better now. See, chat, this is why I ask you for questions, so that way I can answer my own questions that I can throw to you. Lol. Eureka! Exactly. Let's see, oh, I meant for things not involving Godfrey and his fuck-ass lineage. We'll have to, let's see. No, nothing, no, still pretty much the same answer. Nothing's really changed on that front. Most of the data that I already collected for that, so we're not finding too much new stuff. But like I said, I'll have to look at it with the astrologer stuff as well. Same thing with the Godfrey and Godric stuff, and just see, okay, is there anything that could, like, add to the analysis that I'm missing? I need Deathroot slugs now. No, Platy! No! No. The Deathrite bird is closest to Soul, to be honest. Deathrite birds are everywhere, though. That's just not weird. You find them in tons of places, especially around graveyard areas, so... They just exist. Brain Blast! Jimmy Neutron here. Brain Blast! That sounds more like Carl, honestly. God, I can't believe I still remember the names of those characters. Also need a roguelike expansion where Destined Death is restored. That would be funny. You never know. Maybe they'll, instead of doing an Elden Ring sequel, they'll just do spin-off games in the Elden Ring universe. With similarly, whether they add that way, they can add more of the lore without having to spend as much investment making an entirely new RPG. That probably has to be, like, it's hard to imagine how they'd be able to justify a sequel with the way that, like, the universe for Elden Ring is set up. Like, they either have to, like, do, like, a super, like, far into the future, like, so much circumstances have changed, we're basically rebooting everything. Maybe a prequel. I would love that, but I don't think it would happen. So, yeah. Ah! You want to leave, dog? Okay, just don't lick your armpit. This dog, chat. This dog. Right before I start streaming, I see that he's licking underneath his arm, and I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? I'm seeing that it's the arm where he got his surgery. And he's got the little, I think, cut open there a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's not good. So you put a little alcohol, put some Neosporin. Hopefully he's fine. Hey, Rusty, get over here. Don't you dare assault armor me and disappear like that. I still can't believe that that happened in AC. Frickin' Rusty, man. He was a good boy. And then he ran away from us. I swear, he better not come back having gone through his villain arc or something. Yeah, nothing new here. Same old, same old. Alright, so I think that covers this area then. I'm glad I actually got that question answered. Alright, so what else do we want to do? No, not sewers. Second Church America? No, I think that should be fine. Let's try getting shots for the Altus Unification Force. Because I don't remember if I got some for some of these graveyards and stuff, so. Well, we can now fix that, can't we? Always stealth. Ah, buddy! I love Rusty. Both in real life and in the game. Speaking of, Rusty, get over here! Oh, you're just laying down in them. Okay, that's fine. As long as you don't... I'm leaving the door open for him now so he doesn't come knocking. I don't want him knocking with that paw of his. Well, let's go back here first and hopefully the rain will stop. I was wondering if the Mariner was the one to lead the assault on Castle Sol. I think it's possible. The thing is, we don't know how involved those, like how organized those who live in death were. So it's like, I could see it. But then why not press the attack? Because Vander and Niall's still alive. I guess maybe you could justify it on account that Niall is is by himself, like he can't do whatever like weird ritual shit they were doing to get the eclipse done or whatever. So it's like, okay. Again, Erdtree's burning. That'll be oh, I forgot to turn off my HUD chat. There we go. Yeah, I think this is fair. Alright, we lock this. We do higher LODs just in case that... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that changes a lot, huh? Perfect. Could the red flowers be crucible flowers? Ooh, that's an interesting idea, Xavier. Could be. The thing is, we only see flowers connected to the that I can connect to the crucible at least with the arterial leaf, and then that's not even a flower really. So it does make me wonder how exactly you'd get these red flowers as a species to be growing outside of that, but that could always be an afterthought by the devs. Nah, again, I hate to say it, but I think the blood angle might be the more likely one. I really hate to say that. It's so dumb. But yeah, the fact that it's like, oh look, there could have been a battle here. Look at the Coffin Cemetery, and they have all these red flowers surrounding this area. It's like, oh no. Oh no. They're similar shade to Arteria leaves, no? Yeah, they're similar enough. That's why I don't think it's, like, absolutely completely absurd, right? It's not like it's, like, a bright, like a really bright, like, pinkish red or something, right? So. There is gold flowers, right? Yeah, but those at least you can make a justification with how we find them in the context of, like, drops of the Erd tree and things like that. So it's like, again, we have Erdly flowers, which are the fallen leaves. So then, what would be these crucible flowers then? Drops of the Erd tree during the time of the crucible? Well, we already see how the drops generally have the gold flowers, and we don't really see a lot of the red flowers, so it's like, I just don't know. I just don't see it. That would be the most obvious assumption, what I initially thought as well. I'm just trying to come up with alternatives that might be preferable to you. Yeah, I know. And unfortunately for me, I keep reasoning myself out of it. I'm just like, ah, man, I want something other than the blood as an explanation for why these... Like, honestly, the best explanation would probably be they're just natural, and it's just chance whenever we find them in areas which we could possibly associate with battlefields, because, hey, there's a lot of graveyards in this game if we haven't noticed. There are so many dead people. So having a number of them in or around red flowers isn't shocking. But yeah, if there are significance to the color and where we find them, I just wish it wouldn't work so well just saying, oh look, a battle happened here. This is all the bloodshed. Dies of cringe. Red flowers here are what I expect crucible flowers to look like. That is true. If you had to look for, like, generic flowers that would be connected to the crucible, this could work. The only thing that might make more sense is if they were more, maybe more like the gold flowers and had the more reddish, sorry, more metallic look to them with the red. But I don't think it's necessary. You could always argue that just the gold itself is like that. Got this. Any other graveyard like I really want to get? No, we got that here. We have this here. We have you here. Yeah. Then we have obviously this. Second Church of Marika here. The Erd Tree Gazing Hill. Altus Highway Junction. I think that's it, because we don't have any other graveyards here, right? Unless I missed pinning one on the map, but I don't think I did. The red flowers there are what I would expect crucible flowers to look like. Same shape as some of the golden flowers. The unique ones near the snowfield trees, that is. Oh. You mean the golden phantom trees, right? Like this? No, the snowfield tree flowers. Oh! Snowfield, right. I'm thinking mountaintops. Okay. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my brain was there. I was just like snowfield, right. No, that's a separate, consecrated snowfield. That's a separate area, right? Let's see. I like how he zooms in on the entirety of Liurnia when saying there's too many graveyards in this game. Look, Limgrave, tons of graves. Liurnia, tons of graves. It's also just a fucking big area. Altus, tons of graves, though honestly not as many as you would expect. I guess, to be fair, there's tons of catacombs, so it kind of makes up for it. I know we have shots of the graveyards at Volcano Manor and stuff. Oh, there's a graveyard here I forgot about, wasn't there? Because I marked the others, but there's a graveyard here. Am I right? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, right here. Right at the entrance. I guess getting on the summit was no easy task, huh? Yeah, so this is standard stuff. Gotta hate how close you can get and trigger that. Okay, so again, we went through here, cross the bridge, get here, conflict with knights, they'll get buried here with possibly more knights who would be fought along here, go up here, fight through all this shit, kill them and have them buried afterward. But more before that, we gotta get to Stargazer, set that ablaze, they'll get all buried here when the survivors are dealt with. Some of those survivors had escaped to Sol, so it's Sol basically and some of the Stargazers fighting this. He ultimately surrenders, he gives up his leg, they're allowed to live along with some of those stargazers, but the Albinorics are going to get treated as basically some torture play. And then yeah, pretty much covers it. Yeah, they do that. Oh wait, no, yeah, they help with they help Marika here. Because we have a sorcery cat, and I think maybe one of the, some of the imps throw sorcery, orbs, not orbs, fire bombs or whatever. Magic bombs, I guess you call them. We got our... So these dogs have the collar. Then we go, of course, to the tower. It's just a fucking big area. No shit, why do you think I'm switching to Caelid for a bit? As you should, Nardi. As you should. Would never blame you for that. It is funny when the enemy's AI is turned off to each other, too, so they just stand around. Let me double check something. It's the same sword model, right, chat? I don't think they changed it at all. Yeah, it should be the same. Also, the Radagreen Arena has golden leaves radiating out of the center. Oh, does it? Seeming to me at least to be exploding out as the Elden Ring was shattered. I guess that makes sense. We see the grace points also produce leaves when they're first activated, right? So I could totally see that. They don't show it in the cinematic, so it's a bit... Oh my god, another ×5. I can't miss this shit. I don't know why I bother. I'm gonna lose this stuff anyway, but I inevitably die. Also, they really like resting on their summit, huh? I guess this would be sunbathing for them, huh? I also like the detail that they carry arterial leaves, because again, it goes back to their loyalty to the Erd Tree during the Crucible era. A lot of the corpses. Why the hell? I'm just saying, that's a bad touch, chat. That's definitely a bad touch. I feel bad for that piece of ground. I think I need to call some adults to take care of it. Don't some of the giants here drop RT? Yep, they do. I was wondering, when you mentioned on stream, do the imp heads correspond to the culture in that area? I don't know. I've never looked into that. We should probably do a stream checking that out sometime, huh? That'd be a very interesting idea. What imp heads are found in what area, and do the living imps correspond to that at all? Like, did they pay attention in that front? Because we can find the heads, like, in the areas as, like, drops or something every now and then, right? Or as corpse items, so... Very interesting. Also, what did I say about I inevitably dropping down to my death due to something stupid? It happens. Also, chat, Eternites is coming out, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to finish Armored Core. I want to finish at least the first playthrough of Armored Core. I want to finish Eternites. I have most of the screenshots I want, as we can see. I'm running around here, no problem. Seemingly with nothing I really desperately need right now for upcoming analyses, so that's always good. So I don't know, I think we might just do a string of streams where we just like play it casual. Have fun with Eternites, trying to get ourselves a girlfriend. Do a little bit of Armored Core as an alternate. And I don't know, chat, I hate to say it, but MiHoYo is getting their claws in digging in me. Their Kafka trailer put frickin' Honkai Star Rail on the map for me when I wasn't paying attention to it at all. I gave zero shits about any of the Chinese gacha games like Genshin and stuff, but now it's like, oh no. Oh no. Kafka's just too perfect. And she's slowly dragging me into her web. I kind of want to try out the game now. Plus, it's a turn-based RPG, so it's like, ooh, I haven't been able to do trails on stream for a while. So I'd love to be able to maybe do that instead. And maybe I'll try to find time to do trails off stream or some shit. Now this, and this are a little weird to me. Because I have no idea. Like, if this is... Like, the most obvious answer would be, like, Giant War, right? So, like, Marika and Godfrey camp out here. They head for the summit. And they had conflict going up here. That's the best I can think of. That this is the result of them doing that. Another option would be that this is supposed to be for those who are part of the Fire Monks. So they get buried here after their death. So it could be something generic like that, because we don't have a proper graveyard for this area otherwise. And it's been around since the Giant War, so you can imagine there might be a few people who've died. We know at least a few people died, like, at the church and stuff, but this could just be, like, church staff or something, right? There's only 1, 2, and I think maybe a third grave somewhere. It's very obvious that there are very few people that were ever associated with this church who died. It looks like the astrologer graves has the book ladies. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have yet to been able to find a correlation between coffin cemeteries, as I call them, and sorcerers or astrologers specifically. So I think whatever this asset was designed for originally, they just used as a generic graveyard instead, right? Because they're like, okay, sometimes we use graveyards because we need traversal and stuff, right? So they have the big ones that are on the walls, and they let you drop down them. I don't think there's any deeper lore reason for why you have a bunch of them literally sideways, perfect for platforming. I think that's just artistic license. Then you have these, which give you free runes, basically, right? Like, they're just a giant rune farm. Then you got like normal graveyards, right? With little mini graves of all sorts of different types and stuff, which are tailored to like lore usually. And then you've got what's it called? Then you got the big graves that are just used like normal graveyards with these small graves. And that's pretty much it. So they just like mix and match that, I feel. I don't think there's too much thought into like the iconography in this case. But I could be wrong. But so far, I've just not seen a good correlation. Who buried the church staff if the church staff died? I mean, you can imagine, like, maybe someone from the Fire Monks coming here. It's like, oh no, old lady's dead. Or whatever, right? Like, old Finger Maiden. She's dead. No one came to visit her. Or whatever, right? So it's like, okay. We'll bury her, and I guess maybe her, like, I don't know, lackey or whatever, her assistant. Yeah, just surprised when I mentioned the Spirit Caller Cave as glintstone flowers. Was there anything to that? Oh, yes, actually, let's check that out. I never looked at that, did I? Where's that cave? Right over here. I didn't realize there were special flowers here. It does not register. I remember the lake pond stuff. That's about it. So let's look at the... What's most interesting to me is that it was sealed, which I presumably was done by the Godskins, right? In order to keep people out so they could hide out here in peace. Oh. Oh, they are blue flowers. Oh, you are right, Xavier. They really are here. And we have crystal cave moss. These flowers are used a little here, a little here. Yeah, see, I remember the... God, that's creepy. I remember the color of the lake and the pond. I never even paid attention to the flowers. And these are silver fireflies. Yeah, you find these in caves though all the time, so that's not new. Fascinating. Alright, I need to check another cave, chat. Where is it? There has to be another cave. Let's check Cave of the Forlorn. Is there any glintstone moss here? It's interesting to me that the Elden Beast cast Elden Stars by dragging its hand across the Sacred Relic Sword. Elden Stars also make leave particles, which isn't too surprising. Here's the interesting thing, Xavier. Elden Stars is also the oldest Erd Tree incantation, which we find in the Nameless Eternal City, right? On that corpse staring at, like, the base of the Erd Tree, you know, where the Elden Ring grew into the tree. By the way, read my Erd Tree's beginning post, everyone. I'm very happy with how it turned out, for the most part. Anyway, so, like, yeah, that's all consistent with the Elden Beast using the spell and like someone like studying the Erd Tree, learning how to derive that art from it. But the question would be then, who was the person who first discovered it? And the obvious answer would be Marika, right? Like, she, down there, studying the base of the Erd Tree, invents that incantation, and it becomes the first incantation. Now, the thing is, the question still becomes, is the description referring to the incantation that we find, which, again, could, has its own implications, or is it referring to the Elden Beast casting the spell, period? Does that still count as an incantation, and is it just being called Erd Tree Incantation retroactively because the Elden Beast is technically part of the Erd Tree? I want to say it's the former, and they're just trying to tell us that the incantation was invented by an incredibly powerful faith person down there long ago at some point, and that noble, or whoever that corpse is supposed to be, kind of found it while doing their own, like, inquiries into understanding the origin of the Erd Tree. Because, again, I could totally see that. Flower Boy finds more flower lore once again. That you did! We find more of these flowers. It's super consistent now. Anyway, let's go look for that glintstone moss. I don't recall finding it here, but again, I didn't remember the flowers either, so I want to double check this. Because the fact that the freezing lake has glintstone moss in the adjacent cave is incredibly suspicious to me. So now I want to see if this river has something similar. Not finding it. Can't believe I'm doing this. There we go. No, not here. Not here. God, you really can find rats everywhere, huh? Can we please have a little cubby that takes me under here? Thank you. I forgot how to do that. It has to be down here. For a symbol of healing, the Erd Tree, it's curious the oldest incantation is about hurting people. Ah! Also, welcome into the chat, Kimley. I don't recall seeing you here. If this is your first time going on, welcome on in. Anyway, but that's exactly the thing, Kimley. If we're talking about the oldest incantation, and it ends up being an offensive incantation, it has to make you wonder, was the potential inventor, Marika, having violence on the mind while she was doing this? That's totally possible. Because Marika is generally associated with healing incantations, and she needed Godfrey to fight her battles. But she herself may have at least known some offensive incantations like Elden Stars from studying it, even if she never used it herself properly, because she never fought. Yeah, I can't remember how you're supposed to get to the lower section, which I think would be the best chance of us confirming whether or not there's glintstone moss. I hate this because I vaguely remember this being a problem last time too. Oh no. Okay, time swipe speed may screw me over here. Okay, no, I don't think there's anything here. I think we're safe. Ah, here we go. There we go. Glintstone moss, glintstone moss. We got the offensives. We got a nice passive. More offensives. There's so many corpses in here, like, it's actually kind of crazy. Yeah, like, God, this cave has so many corpses. I don't remember there being this many corpses in other caves. Makes you wonder. Okay, so no moss. So there's no glintstone cave moss here, but there is in the lake from which the river stems from. That is already suspicious to me. Alright, let's get those screenshots of the graveyards and stuff. I'm starting to wonder if the gray wolves we see in Snowfield and Caria Manor are the ones Radigan bred such genetically altered to be the red wolves. They have more shaggy coats similar to those wolves. That is true, Nardi. There is a similarity with those snow wolves in particular. And we know at least that the Radigan wolves have no problem with the cold because we see them in the cold environment, right? So it's not insane. It's not like the most radical proposition, I would say. Oh, I hate it so much, chat. Actually, let me double check. I vaguely recall taking these screenshots. Is my goldfish memory being goldfish memory and I just don't remember what I do anymore? Mountaintops of the Giants. I don't have anything for the summit. I do need to make a summit folder. Oh no, I have these. Yeah, Chat, you want to know how much I hate myself right now? I took the exact angles you just saw me trying to set up. I was about to make the exact same shots that I already took. Like, who knows when. God, I'm dumb. How do I live? Are those the same wolves that the Lady Albinorks ride? Yes, exactly, John. Same exact ones. Yes, also first time here. Thanks for welcoming me. No problem. I'm always glad to have new people in the chat. I love the feedback that you guys give me, seriously. I know sometimes, especially now with how big the chat gets sometimes, I'm not able to always follow every message or whatever. But I really do appreciate just you guys, like, you know, sort of, like, having conversations with each other as well as with me and being able to, like, kind of help me churn these juices with this game, which is putting me to my limit with how much shit. There's just way too many variables to keep track of. Like, I feel dumb, admittedly, for being so, like, not realizing the obvious recontextualization being done with the slugs. But, in fairness to me, The slugs are used so sparingly throughout this game and across so many areas that I was just so distracted. I was like, God, why are the slugs here? We use them in like normal. Like there was, I didn't even like it didn't even pop in my mind, and I feel awful about it. All right, so we want that coffin cemetery done here. I'll figure out what to use it for later. For now, let's just get the shot. At the very least, I could just mention the possibility it might be related to the war. There we go. Just get your head down there, dog. There we go. At least you're consistent. At least I'm consistent. It's just so funny to me. I'm looking, I'm just like, oh my god, deja vu. I've been to this place before. Oh. Deja vu! I've been to this place. Falling to my death. I've definitely been there before. They're also seemingly more intelligent than the average wolves, as they are capable of using freezing mist attacks, which is also a spell. That's true. Though it's hard to tell if that's a spell or if that's just them, like, I don't know, adapting to their native environment. Did they use the spell even in Caria Manor, Nardi? Did you see them? I don't recall them doing it myself, so... I imagine yes. If so, then maybe, yeah, it could be a case that they actually know some sorcery. Or at the very least, they have the potential to learn sorcery, because they're so intelligent. The thing is, we see wolves in, like, Dark Souls do similar things with, like, ice and stuff in their environment. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a matter of they're so used to breathing the cold, they know how to breathe it back out in a way that would be, you know, damaging, like a snow blizzard or whatever, right? Similar to the wolf in the Ariandel DLC. And none of this we need. This stuff we can worry about when we do Fire Monks, which I will be separating out into its own analysis. Ultimately, Xavier's right. Having it as a separate analysis is the best course of action. It does not need to be in the Giant War section at the end. I can cut it out perfectly fine and just, like, fill it in as a separate post. It's gonna make some stuff maybe not flow as well between posts, because, like, I kind of, like, end on the perfect note with the Giant War to go into Age of Plenty, which then ends on a perfect note to go into Glowmite Queen. But I don't mind separating some sections out and doing our own little side supplementaries. That's what they're for, after all. And people can decide whether or not they want to read them. Yeah, nothing else here. Do we have glintstone stuff, though, besides the Rhyme Crystal Buds? I assume no. Day 69,420 of waiting for that DLC. Indubitably. Chat, you're making me feel more awake. Stop. Stop, chat. I need sleep. I've had 4 hours of sleep for this entire week, and it's been always at different parts of the day. I hate it. I'm so glad I at least got that thesis out. That took a lot longer than I wanted. I wanted it done on Friday, ended up doing it on Monday. I'm not seeing any crystal buds. Alright, so if we don't find it here, could the moss instead be a result of the spirit caller snails? Like, perhaps they're the cause of the crystallization because of spirits? If so, that would associate spirits with stars, which again, would be consistent with what we've seen generally with the idea of the cosmos and the spirit realm being the same thing. So that could be a potential connection. I would have to pin that for later. I'm pretty sure we got the screenshots for this too, right? Yeah, I remember getting the shots from here. Wake up! Damn you, naughty! Chaotic! Thank you. Elden stars suck offensively. It's more annoying than dangerous. Even when the Elden Ring uses, it's just hard to dodge chip damage. Okay, yeah, but there's a difference between gameplay and lore. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Leads to my theory about the primeval current being the river of souls. Woo yeah! I think that could definitely be possible. I don't know if that analogy is, I don't know if the analogy is literal, but thematically I could see it. At the very least, we know stars. The whole idea of the primeval current is to explain the flow of the stars, and apparently also the origin of stars in some cases, because we know that the darkness, like, you know, we get a stell and stuff like that, right? So the question then just becomes if that darkness just happens to swallow certain light and then it pops it back out as a star, or if it does this completely spontaneously. Like actual spontaneous generation. Yeah, we got shots here. We obviously have that catacomb there. I already got all the shots of the birds. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Let's fucking go! I'm the new Loki Master! I'm gonna get replaced, chat. I'm out of a job. AI are taking my jobs. Damn, that new Nardi 3.0. Ill. No, turn back around. There we go. God, your contours just suck! Why are you gray in a gray background? There we go. God, you just suck! Outside of motion, you just don't look good. I hate you. No. Elden Ring's gonna pull a Demon Souls, make the Primeval Current just another form of the Greater Will. I could see it. Like I said, my theory is that the Greater Will is the sun, which would also be quite apt for Demon Souls, considering that was the game where I said, oh, you know, the sun might be God. So it definitely would not be surprising if Miyazaki did that. I'm just gonna take that shot, chat. I'm tired of being here looking at that thing, waiting for, like, the absolute perfect frame. And I don't want to put it in slow-mo. Also, we have Deathroot here. But I don't think we have any of those who live in death, right? Maybe the boss? I don't remember what the boss for this area was, so... Yeah. We're gonna turn this off for a second, chat, because I want to test the throws. What do they throw here? Yep, it's magic. Okay, yeah. I was like, I remember them doing magic. So yeah, we'll Of course. Of course you clip. God, that is an awkward-ass angle. What the hell? Like, how do I make that look good? You don't. Like, this is the best I got. Which requires me to show him his buddy behind him being a dumbass. And this just looks ugly. So no. No, I hate it. There we go. This looks good. Always stealth. Can you step through the animations like one frame at a time? Will you find decent ones that fast forward? Oh yeah, I could totally, I could slow things down to a crawl and almost like you basically pause the game. The animation becomes so slow when you put it at 0 instead of ×5. But I'm just lazy. I don't want to go through all that for this one animation. I'd rather just cycle through and hey, I found something decent. I'm still curious about the significance of where these enemies are found. Because part of me thinks, sometimes it almost feels like people have the jars here when they're collecting materials. Now, the next big mystery. We were able to solve the slugs, chat, but can we solve these guys? Was Marika just being particularly prankish? She said, I'm going to take these guys all the way from the plateau and stuff them inside here. Why? Because it's funny. It's funny to make them die because they don't expect to fight poison in the middle of this hellhole of a catacomb. Yeah, that sounds like her, alright. That sounds like Miss Mimic Veil. Let's see if we can do it this way now. No, that's not gonna work either. Okay, so... Here. There. Let's make it even better. There we go. Perfect. So now we just find the right angle. We're going to increase the FOV just a little bit here. Try to get this, get the composition about right. I'd like to avoid having all that death root in the middle of that. Yeah, like that now. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, is that Marika just really wanted to say, fuck you. like this as just generic pictures for the statue in the future. Alright, Marika, give me your good face. There you go. Say cheese! What heads do the imps have here? Let's double check that when we go back. I think they're all standard, but I may be misremembering. I think that's a good shot, chat, don't you? Very good. In fact, I'm actually willing to slow it down to see if we can get something better. Oh god, the physics, right? Okay, we gotta put you down to 0.3 to get the physics back to normal. What an odd little detail to this thing. Wait! Huh? Well, it's fine. The original shot was good. I don't know what happened there with that poor box. Also, the fact that their AI is turned off, but they still do this shit, kind of tells you everything you need to know about how much this game is scripted with its like little events. FromSoft definitely puts a lot of effort into trying to make sure that you get fucked over every time you turn a corner. Woo! Yeah, you can't go back here. Woo! So, this is the cat head, right? The feline head? I think this is the generic one. Oh, it's different from this head. This one doesn't have the horns. I didn't realize. Huh. Now I know. More like a gargoyle head here for these guys. Now what about the ones over here? Oh, wait, right. We're gonna go down now. Oh, well, it's fine. America's one last prank. There we go. Right. More cat heads. Ah, the chapel. Yep, there we go. Oh, I like that one too. Feline? Yeah, I guess. Cat head, feline, whatever you want to call it. Uh-huh. Perfect. Perfect! Yes, yes. Okay, this is good. Cat is without horns. The horns is fanged. Oh, is that so? I have to look up the lore text for those then, because I don't remember if there was anything special that any of them said outside the names. I know one of them says, corpse or dead or something in English, but that one's also hollow, so it's like, oh. Was this made after the shattering began, or is that to imply that That those types of quote-unquote dead existed even before the shattering was a thing and everyone was, like, you know, zombifying. Oh, where are the statues here? Feline, huh? So if these are feline, that tracks with them throwing magic pots since it increases intelligence. They each increase a stat. Oh. That makes sense. I wonder, though, if that's true for all the pot throwers. Do they all correspond? Like, do they all have the feline head, or do they each correspond to the element? That's something to look into. Let's see. Anything else I want for the giant war? We got the shots here, 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 here. Just in case. What a shot, chat. We got the shots there. We got shots of the Stargazer's ruins. So yeah, I think we're good here. I think this is the standard head description. A head covering made from the largely unaltered head of an impish golem, resembling a fanged demon. It holds trace amounts of bestial strength. So it associates it with Crucible. The fact that it's emphasizing the beast aspect reminds me of like Lion Guardians and things like that. So it definitely seems to highlight like Far Missoula, Crucible, that type of stuff. But they're not really fangs. They're more like horns, though it could be talking about the teeth they have. You're to Highway North. Yeah, let's go to Wyndham. Wyndham Catacombs has it has some lightning boys. It's described as holding a lingering amount of the bonus it gives you. So for the corpse, it holds a lingering amount of faith, for example. Well, that tracks with the idea of them being like worship, like it was, yeah, working with worshipers, right? So. These are the horn statues, huh? Little golem boys. So yeah, maybe it really does all correspond. What are the other ones here? Horn boys, horn boys. Oh. Go away. Check up here. That could track. The wiki says in Wyndham it has the fanged, as in the fanged headpiece that you can collect. Because I don't remember where you collect which head. But yep, there's more of that. More horn boys. More horn boys. Oh, we have a dog boy. We have a doggy. So you got one doggy, mostly fanged. Yep, they're all fanged. No! Oh! I don't know how that happened, but whatever, it worked. Got a crab, and yeah, that's it. Okay. Alright, so that's consistent. Alright, that makes me wonder what's on these films. Let's see, Platy's just got me some description here. Yep, that's, fanged, oh. Interesting. Yeah, so that bestial strength is referring to like a fanged Oni pow. Okay, that's interesting. So it's associating them with Oni, like Margit. That's interesting. Interesting they use fanged. I have to double check the... I have to check a Japanese dictionary or something, see if fanged is ever used to mean horns. I don't recall. It'd be the first time I've seen it like that. Though again, it could be referring to the teeth and not the actual horns on their head. The Oni aspect, though, makes sense, because Oni are typically associated with horns most often, so that actually explains a lot on why they went with that angle. Also makes sense considering that there's association with strength. Thanks for posting it for me, Platy. That was a really cool little detail you did. You didn't have to do that. So are the dog ones always the greatsword users? Because that tracks to my memory. Now we have feline. 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 Of course, this tracks. Feline. Oni, but they throw... They're Oni, but they throw magic. Huh, interesting. So yeah, it doesn't have to be... how far do I have to be to keep these things from hitting me from... Fandom Wiki is really doing a good job with providing both JP and English descriptions, way easier than pulling up the Excel doc. Yeah, you know what? That's true. I need to download the Excel doc. Because, yeah, it takes me way too long to control F with that thing. It's like, okay, searching, and I know that because if I had it in actual Excel on my hard drive, it would be instant. That's how it is with all my other docs. Okay. Get closer! Woo! Okay. Alrighty, so that's good confirmation. So it doesn't always correspond to what they throw, but it can be. And we found a lot more feline ones in this this area than you would expect. So let's see up here. Wolves increased his endurance and his lupine endurance specifically. That makes sense because he's the one that has the really long charge attack that takes forever before he actually strikes you. So yeah, that makes sense. He's got some endurance, all right. He can wait. He's patient. Seriously, chat, this is why I love you guys. You guys are the best. Always asking me great questions. Always positing good ideas. Helping us be able to explore all our options. Really liking that. Yeah, we're gonna do a dedicated stream just for this stuff one day. I wonder what heads are the ones on Langdale rooftops in the sewers. Nothing you can find. Oh, that's true. Let's double check that real quick. Which I think this will be best, right? The cats don't make sense with the blue torches. Oh, no. I don't necessarily think they don't make sense. But it doesn't really make sense then to have the, like having your quote-unquote, like, ogres, right? You have these ogre types throwing the magic pots when we, again, establish the intelligence thing. So I think, generally speaking, we might be able to use, not like, oh, okay, they throw magic pots, therefore they must be feline type. I think we might be able to tailor it based on, like, population numbers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more feline, headed, imps in areas with, closely associated with, like, sorcerer history, right? So they're constructed by sorcerers, so there's more feline types. I'm curious if the dog head is consistent for all of them, though. Like I said, it makes sense given what the Greatsword Boy does, but we'll see. Feline. Feline. Interesting. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to do with sorcerers. Or perhaps Langdell has a deeper history than we thought. Another feline. Ah, there's one up here too. Which one is that? That one's Oni, right? Yeah, because he's got the horns. Platy, which head is that you just posted? That one says, yeah. Because I don't remember what all the heads are, so. I'll be very happy if the heads are consistent. There's that weird Liurnia grave here with the fire butterflies, right? Yes, there's the one right under here, if I recall correctly. So yeah, that one definitely has a bit of a weirdness to it. So let's see. Found in the sewers. Okay, yeah. Because that one says tongue Oni. I don't remember any imp that has a tongue thing going for it. Let's check out a Grace Point. I probably have most of the heads, right? So there's probably one with like an open mouth and a tongue sticking out or some shit. Does it have horn? Oh, there you are. I was like, I forgot where this thing is. Sword chest. It'd be under helmets, right? So. Ah, wait, here we go. So we have the Elder. I only have 4 heads. So I got cat, wolf, corpse, Elder. I know there are more than this. Huh. Interesting. According to the unreliable wiki, yeah, that's always a good little adjective to use. Most rime crystal buds found outside the snowfield and mountaintops are found in Karya Manor and the Temple Quarter. Yeah, that tracks. Oni in the sewers with the omen makes sense, right? Yeah, it does make sense. Again, because we have Margit associated as being like an Oni. Again, an ogre. Again, he's known as the he's called the Fell Omen in English, but the Japanese is more like, again, the term for omen is omen child, you know, so like, you know, similar term to what's used with like the forlorn, right? You're despised, you're taboo, you're detested, you know, you're shunned, all that. So all that wrapped up into that terminology with omen, right? And then on top of that, they just changed the child to Oni for Margit, so he becomes the Omen Demon, as I translate it. But Omen Ogre, Omen Oni, however you would want to render it. There's an imp head that you pick up in the streets near here. That's the corpse head. Yeah, that one is using the term for hollow for Dark Souls and Demon Souls and stuff like that. You know, Moja, the idea of being like it means like you're dead, but the way that we typically see it used in FromSoftware titles is, like, different from the normal dead, and we see that with how it's used for, like, the nobles, the noble sorcerer, the various enemies we encounter like them that are all zombified, right? So it's clearly that it's not just, like, those who live in death type of corpse. The long tongue increases dexterity. Vexatious dexterity, specifically. I'm interested where the Elder is found. Where would they specify arcane? Would they specify arcane imps? That would be interesting if Elder is for arcane, because they kind of have like a devil thing going for them. Omen Oni macaroni. Yeah, that's a response, isn't it, Joan? Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to check? Okay, we're gonna stop with the imps now. I want to focus on possible other stuff before we head out, so let's see. I think my dog fell asleep, chat. Fringe folk. No. Waypoint room cellar. Ah, you know what? I want to check something in Fringe folk, so let's do it. Yeah, Elder's pretty accurate. The term basically just tells you it's someone who's old, yeah. Someone who's elderly. Still don't know why this has a poison thing. We'll just assume it's coincidence. Also, Elder is a corpse pickup found in consecrated snowfield catacombs. What? Here? Huh. Huh, something to keep in mind in the future. I just want a shot of these banners here. Because we're probably going to use that when we get to Altus Unification Wars, because I'm lumping in the banishment to the penal colonies with it. Then we get this chamber. We know how this is. Comes out with Erdtree's Beginning, still getting shots that would most likely go in Erdtree's Beginning, if anywhere. Why am I like this, chat? Why am I like this? Okay, yeah, we're good here. What about other boy? The enemies aren't showing up, so I'm hoping maybe the one that prays will be there. Oh no, he's this way. Right? Oh no, I had it right. Getting myself all mixed up. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get another good shot of these statues. Because that's going to be in Altus Unification Wars quite a bit. There we are. Alright, we got your good side, Marika. Smile. I'm not taking a picture of the feet. No feet pics. Sorry. This isn't a Miyazaki stream. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I noticed the Mirai mask has a texture underneath it that's extremely reminiscent of the bloody bandage mask found in the sewers. Oh. Sorry, I didn't know how to spell that, so I copy-pasted the wiki and it's all clips. That's interesting. It makes sense so far as bloody bandages and stuff would go with them being constantly sickly, right? So they like they probably get like, you know, ugly like pustules or stuff on their face or something that need to be like surgically removed or some shit. Wait, why am I doing this? This is so much easier if I just warp. Miyazaki might hire you on to do lore stuff if you did. Oh boy. All the more reason never to do it, chat. God, how will I ever go back to normal movement speed when we have ×5, chat? I'm able to just zoom across this entire area so quickly. We don't care for Stormveil. We don't care for Liurnia beyond the shots we already got of the highway. take the shots, though, from the highway's perspective, though. Right here at Dectus. Why are these guys colored like the headless spirits and can also teleport? Can't all spirits teleport? Am I crazy? I could have swore they all did that. As for the headless thing, I don't know. I didn't notice. I thought it was just their armor with the spirit overlay. I thought it was just how their thing reacts because it's supposed to be very reflecty with the armor, but I imagine with the spirit lighting placed on top of them, it does weird stuff for the filter. That was my assumption. Oh my goodness, there is that stupid... There. There, you happy? Oh, unpause. There we go. There we go. We pod that there. We do super high LODs. Just look at the difference, chat. Boom. And it's gone. Boom. And it's gone. Boom. It just looks so much better. The problem is Liurnia is so taxing on any CPU that I can't keep it like that while we're just running around. It'll tank the frames. No, the gray ones. Like the ones in Soul and there, and the headless ones. Huh. I have not noticed. I thought they were all the same spirit thing. Alright, we got that. We got all this stuff. All this Crucible propaganda. All this Marika propaganda. Don't you dare! Don't you dare come and attack me, Renala! Or I'm gonna stab you with this spear. With the help of my husband. She just puts that in, like, small caps. I think I got a shot like this already, but just in case. Yep, okay. Lock that, higher LODs. She stabbed her with a different spear later on! You ain't wrong! That she most certainly felt Marika's spear. More graveyards outside of, Here's a good example. Oh. Good. So we can put that one... that one here. I'll move it later, but I just want to put this here. And then, okay, that just leaves this one here. Let's see. I'll be honest, I could probably get away with having these not be considered separate, but they're far enough away that I'll pass. Any others where there's like a catacomb or something where I'm like, I don't need to consider these a separate graveyard for future analysis. No, this one's far away. that one's done. We have that one. That one we consider one with the chain. That one's separate. Yeah, I'm just gonna not do the graveyards for the catacombs and stuff because it's kind of self-evident. Huh. No. God, I think that's it. I can't believe it, chat. I used 100 of these freaking death markers, and I still want to put more. God, I hope the DLC increases the cap. I would also love for the game to give me filters so I can take off this shit, so I can use these in order to like, take realistic maps, helping plot stuff out for fans. Wouldn't it be so nice if I didn't have all this junk in the way? When I'm just trying to tell people, hey, look, there's a graveyard here, there's a graveyard here, there's a graveyard here, there's a graveyard here, and there's a graveyard here, and there's a graveyard here. Okay, take a screenshot. Boop! But now we have to have all the graces here, and all the tunnels here, and all the caves here. Ugh. Ugh, 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 ugh. There's good old Hayato. Marika strikes me as someone that would key someone's car. I'm typing the first few areas of the Lernian notes right now. That's great. It's great to hear, Nardi. I'm glad Xavier was able to help you. Let's see. Anything else from you guys that I'm missing? Nope. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. Oh! I never checked here. Better do my due diligence. Erdtree? Erdtree? Nope. No Erdtree? Say it ain't so. I mean, impossible. How could there be no Erdtree? I am shocked. It's almost as if... It's almost as if the architectural style is more Karian than Marika made, huh? Okay, that's done. But here, there's tons of Erdtrees. There's so many Erdtrees on that stupid, on those stupid gateways there. I think every gateway except the front gate, if I remember correctly, so... That's not major, though, for us right now. That's not important right now. Don't care about this with Stormhill. Mistwood, we don't care. It looks like the Albanor cast a spell and then the wolf breathes ice, Loki. The Albanor casts a spell and then the wolf breathes ice. I have to see that. So it doesn't happen with the ones in Karian Manor, only the ones when they're ridden by the ladies. The online map would probably allow you to put custom markers on a blank map. That's true. I should double check and see what the resources were. When I first started this, I did not really like what we had available, but maybe they've improved the experience now. I still hate how the Fextra map has their stupid watermark inlaid in it, because I would make custom maps with that if they didn't do that shit. Because of course it's Fextra. Fuck Fextra. Just fuck them so hard. Where are these stupid women? Albanorex! Third generation Albanorex! Karian first gens, where are you? Where are you? Albanorex! 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 I guess they don't spawn in this area specifically. Let's go further north then. So that counts as a group, huh? Oh, whoops. They're circling me, chat. Oh, whoops. There we go. Alright, I think that's fair. I don't think I'm gonna get sniped by anyone else. Let's see, normal speed. Oh, now that I look at it, I think they actually copy-pasted the Ariandel boss's animations. Those look practically identical. I really think they just made a smaller version of that boss. That or they copied them from the Faron boss with the Vatican Red Wolf. Come on. Come on, do your freezing fog. Ow! Ah! First off, gold eyes. Second off. Huh. You're right, she casts a spell. Loki, they're literally everywhere. Vextra taking Elds for days, so true. Agreed, it does look like they're casting something. It is freezing mist though. Yeah, so that makes sense. I thought you were talking about the wolves in general, Nardi, so I was like, oh, it could just be like natural, but no. This definitely looks like they're actually using the wolves as a medium. Like they're using them as a sorcery catalyst to cast freezing mist, like you said. Fascinating. Let's see if we can get that to happen again, because that looked like that didn't have a, that looked like there was no, what's it called? Crest attached to it. So I want to stay close. Ah. Woo! Damn, I panicked. Should not oh no. Yeah, it looks like she just gathers magical energy and then puts it into the wolf's head. Fascinating. The hands also glow when she does it. Yeah, it looks like she's taking the power straight from her silver nature, which makes sense because we've seen silver associated with ice and cold several times now, which makes sense. Gold, warmth, heat, sun, silver, moon, ice, you know, or just night in general instead of just moon. But like, again, you catch my drift. Oh, look, those red flowers. There was a crest at 1.0, but apparently it was copied and pasted from Dark Souls. Oh. Oh. So they may have had an idea for a unique Albanort crest, maybe, but then they were like, nah. The Frozen Glintstone Sorcery's Red I taught Ronnie doesn't use a crest either. Oh. Huh. Yeah. If so, then okay, that's consistent. Did a Dragon Ball Z blast, lol. Oh, before I forget. Boy, stealth. The Frozen Glintstones, Albanorgs harbor a secret. They cast sorcery using their innate arcaneness. Yeah, that's using the term. So, again, that's playing on the meaning of arcane being secret of God, right? Both have the same kanji in them, obviously, but yeah, you have this idea where it's like, okay, they harbor a quote-unquote secret, and it's like, okay, they have this inherent mystery to them, which is, of course, arcane, which is, of course, you know, divine secrets, as good old Last Protagonist would insist we say. Because, God forbid, we say that a divine secret be a secret of God. Again, I'm assuming you guys are right when you say that. But yeah, we have these red flowers that are metallic. Actually, they're not really metallic. Maybe they are. It's hard to tell because like the tips and edges kind of have that look to it, but I can't tell if that's supposed to be like for the snow or not. But yeah, we have red flowers for this field specifically. Aberrant Sorcery also doesn't have crest, so the Blood Sorcery, right? And yet, Ancient Dynasty Sorceries use the same crest as Nox. Wonder how that works. I'm gonna move this here. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Kimley. They're just the same shape as the big golden flowers. Yeah. They're definitely the same shape. But I don't know if they're the same metallic effect. Now that I give them a second look, I want to say no. That they got something different going on. Chat? Something's invisible. Huh? 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 But... What the fuck is this? Oh, the Dragon King ghosts? Okay, okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you, someone said it. I forgot. I thought those things were like other spirits and they just don't spawn in. What? You're telling me they're just invisible? And they're actually here this whole time? That is freaky. I thought they just kind of apparate out of nowhere. They kill you super fast, very nasty. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, is there any lore to how the menus separate in categories the spells and incantations? We get scrolls here, and we get regular tomes here, like with prayer books. Outside of that, I don't see. Oh, you're talking about like these dividers, right? These all seem related to glintstone sorcery, right? And standard stuff. Common Azure, yeah. So this all seems to deal with like shooting stars, right? So I'll call this shooting star sorcery for now. This stuff has to do with moon and Carian sorceries. This all has to do with night sorceries, and this all has to do with meteorites. And then I don't have incantations. One of those sorceries she taught Ronnie is Freezing Mist Loki. I don't remember the exact description for that. But I'm assuming that doesn't have to be strictly just something that Rena taught, or again, assuming Rena is the old hag, right? Rena taught Ronnie. Because, it's a fairly generic concept spell, and the idea is ultimately ice sorcery. So, but good to know, at the very least. Oh wow, I was going to die from that, to be honest. I'm gonna regret this. So yeah, more basic sorceries that can basically all fall under a shooting star of some kind. Then you get these Carian. Interesting how the magma sorceries go with the night sorceries. Huh. That's an interesting way to divide it. Then you got the ice stuff and the crystal stuff with the ice stuff. Again, very interesting choice. Then again, you get gravity, like what we have here. So you have gravity, meteorites. This makes sense with oracular bubbles, because there's a explicit association with them in the network test. I recall that very specifically because they talked about how, oh, for the eternal cities or something like that, the meteorites had the same meaning as the stars, which is like, so stars are meteors, which makes sense. And then you have the Briars of Sin, which again, very interesting choice. And then of course the death sorceries, which get their own thing. Yeah, curious how magma and crystal get paired up with other types of sorceries with night and ice. Same thing with meteor stuff here. Briars of Sin, huh? I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's connecting back to the Dark Moon and Ice. I see what you're trying to... Okay, you're making the Dark Moon connection. I think the Blood and Bubble sorceries are with the Gravity sorceries, if I recall correctly. Yep. Silver and Arcaneness. Also, Icy Glintstone isn't the same as the Zamor spell. It's got a blue tint to it. Wait, does Zamor do something similar to Glintstone Ice Crag? I didn't know. I thought they just did the floor spell. Yeah, Ronnie here. Because Bloodstar, Blood Meteorite. That's interesting if the Bloodstar is specifically a meteorite. Because again, the idea is that the stars and the meteorites are the same thing. We see this with, for example, Astel. So at the very least, there's at least types of stars, which are like just floating rocks, and some are more alive than others. But then that, of course, begs the question, then, what would be the Bloodstar specifically? Would it just be like a giant blood rock? Interesting notion. It exists within blood, like the Formless Mother. So are they the same entity, or is this actually something completely different with the thorns because of the punishment, huh? But why in the blood, then, would you associate sin and punishment, right? I kind of almost want to say this Briars of Crime, right? To just be like, hey, it's crime and punishment. No one's going to get that one, huh? And then we're... No, I'm saying that the floor spell is a separate thing from the Snowy Crone sorceries. Its only similarity is they use as snow. Oh, okay, I'm trying to see what you're trying... okay, you're trying to separate some more from that, too. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's some good stuff. Alrighty, so let's see. Anything else that I really want to get for Unification Wars? Godfrey starts out, destroys Sun Capital, defeats Sarash. We already got all the shots of the interior stuff, I think. Maybe we could get shots of the round table? Maybe? Maybe we should get shots of Fortified Manor. I don't know. It's getting late, so I think we'll do a separate thing for just Fortified Manor interior. See if there's anything I'm missing there. I have to go through my I know, no way. I know I got most of those shots. I'm pretty sure I got, like, Marika and Godfrey's room, for example. Okay, Raskolnikov. The book Crime and Punishment? I have not read it. How are the incantations ordered? Yeah, let's look at that, actually. I'm curious how that goes. Come on. I don't have all the incantations, but I think we have enough at this juncture. God, how do I keep missing this thing? I swear, it just disguises itself with all the glowstones that are dropped around here, at least in the daytime. Alright, sword chest. Alright, so we have shadow stuff, right? Yeah, okay, so we have 2 fingers incantations here. We have Crucible, Erd Tree, and Fundamentalism incantations here. We have Dragon incantations here. I should say, no. We have a, how should I put it? The Archdragon Faith, what do they call it here? The Ancient Dragon Cult, that's how it is. Like, I'm trying to remember it. Okay, so Ancient Dragon Cult here. We have, Fell God / Fire Monks. We also have Fire's Deadly Sin, which doesn't have association with either of them. You can see how the graphic is blank, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't use any crest, so... That's interesting, they group it up there. Which I guess makes sense, because I don't think... We don't have any of the other flame sorcery, incantations, do we? For comparison? No. Scouring Black Flame, so... Godskins. And associated with Malekith stuff. With the bestial... I mean... I guess it makes sense if you consider the dynamic between the two. There's the whole shared destined death angle. But still a little weird of a choice. And then you got Poison and Blood Flame. Which, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. They're all icky. And then you got Frenzied Flame. Huh. There's our consecrated snowfield. Come on, where's the catacomb? Catacomb! Catacomb, I'm home! God, I went too far. Okay. Feline. I always forget about you. Feline. Feline. Ow! I keep on forgetting about you! Cat dog thing. Feline, 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 feline. That's a whole lot of felines. Dog. Where are the old man imps? I don't see them. That's the weird thing. I don't see them. Poison and Blood Flames are arcane-y stuff. That's true. Also, do dragon incantations fall under that? Because I haven't gotten any dragon incantations with this playthrough, so... I don't know if they classify under Ancient Dragon Cult or not. Wow, you really are scripted that way, huh? Feline. God, I forgot you were here. Could you hide out literally anywhere else? Did it have to be in this catacomb? Nope. Come on, we can do this. Alright, this will be the last. Ow! Last thing, chat. So we have another feline. So yeah, that's a lot of feline statues in a catacomb. That could potentially be associated with sorcerers, though we don't have any sorcerer. We don't have any sorcerer flames here, just ghost flame. But I think that was the same for the sorcerer tomb here, wasn't it? With the Rhodes End catacomb. Not sure. The mask is picked up in the Snowfield Catacomb, but it's a corpse pickup, which makes me think they're very sparse. Yeah, that's very weird, though. They have you pick it up there. Is it trying to highlight the age of the... Uh-oh. Is it trying to highlight the age of the catacomb, maybe? Yeah, there's still a lot of mysteries with this. It's not Ordina, because we see Ordina uses the Sorcery Flame, but this one doesn't. So we can't just say this is like an Ordina tomb. And if they're going to bother making a catacomb all the way over here, they can bother burying all their dead here with all the rest of them, right? So that doesn't make sense to me. We have all this conga line of death going to the Halig tree. Let's see. Nope, they're their own tab. Okay. So they're separate. They're considered separate. So it's not just purely, oh, these things have arcane in them that decide the blood and the not flames. Not blood. Blood and poison. Was it? It seems that the only enemy imps are the cat, fang, tongue, and wolf. So let's see. And Placky's ruin is among them, despite not being a dragon spell. Really? It's considered ancient dragon cult? Does it have the crest and everything? That's kind of wild to think about. I wonder if that's an oversight. Like, they forgot that you can get it. They decide to make it only obtainable through the actual boss. Huh. Interesting to think about, I guess. What do you expect to find? It's a statue, my man. Oh. This poor controller. Alright, chat, I think that's all I want to do for today. Let's double anything coming to mind. We got the... Yeah, we got this. We got shots for here and all those graveyards. We got shots for those graveyards here. I think we have enough shots for Shaded Castle, but I'll double check because... Could be. Yeah, you know what? We'll get a quick shot for the back at least. Placky, Placky's Ruin does scale with anything. It's its own spell. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that choice would be for then. Oh, it doesn't scale with anything. So there's no crest or anything, though, that's attached to it. That's what I find very... Because if it had, like, an ancient dragon cult thing, maybe. But if it doesn't even have that... So yeah, no talisman works with it, so you can't use it for ancient dragon cult stuff. You can't use it for dragon cult. It's just dragon communion stuff. I guess that makes sense because you get it from the boss soul, quote unquote, the remembrance. So I guess that makes sense with how they classify it. But they also acknowledge it as a dragon spell, I guess. So it just I guess it's just one of those things where they're like, okay, you don't get this through dragon communion, but it is a dragon power. So we put it under here. I guess that's the most sensible interpretation. According to the wiki, I should specify. So yeah, that's always could be potentially incorrect then. Okay, let's get this shot then. Hello? There we go. God, that was painful, chat. This is a weird thing for defensive purposes now that I think about it. There we go. Yeah, the only problem with the whole syncing aspect to this shaded castle is it doesn't really line up with how the architecture is treated here. Like, none of this looks or seems to be syncing. It's only the front half, but it doesn't have a clean break where you're like, okay, this is the part that's syncing. Like this should have more damage or something here to kind of show how it's syncing unlike the rest, right? But it doesn't. So that's a bit that's a big letdown, especially with how much it's sinking, Chad. Like let's pretend like all this here was supposed to be underground, right? Let's just like consider it up to here. That's still half of its height, at least. More than half, honestly, that has sunk into the poison swamp. Kind of crazy, if you ask me. And let's not even get started on how all these rocks and stuff are grinding against this stuff, and very obviously there just in order to help limit traversal. Lol. I still can't get over that they put a solid wall here just because they're like, oh no, the player might actually get through here. Like, just put a gate. Like, you could totally get away with putting a gate here. Like, just have the cutlass thing, and like no one will be able to get through. It'll be fine. Like, what are they gonna do? Try to glitch through? They could do that for other places too, you know. The Kegare Castle in all its glory. For sure. Just look at all that corruption, chat. So much stagnation. Also, I think these are the trees you see at the tree you see at Morn Castle, right? I wonder if this model is used elsewhere. Because they use a lot of gold trees here. I actually want to... Let me double check that. I think I might be able to confirm if I check here. And then we're done. We're done and we exit here. I'm not going to keep on going. I'm tired. So I pulled up my game since we were looking at spell groupings. The pest threads is with the blood and poison incantations. I wonder if they're just... If Miyazaki's just like, okay, this is all the shitty Kegare shit. That's the Kegare tab. Blood, poisons, you know, filth, pests, insects. That'll all go there, and then there's death. Death we'll consider separate, because it's cool. Oh my god, I still have higher LODs for this place. Let me turn this off. I'm like, goddamn, that frame rate. No, this is different. These are different trees. Yeah, these are not the same trees. Yeah. These are different trees. Okay. All the poison ones are servants of Rod as well. That's true. All right, chat. That's it. We're gonna call it here. We ended up getting a lot more investigation done than I was expecting, but I'm happy with the screenshots we did get. So let's see. What is gonna be the plan? Tomorrow's probably gonna be Eternights. We're probably gonna be going playing a good old dating sim hack and slash and see how that is. I enjoyed the demo, so we'd love to have you guys there for us to. I actually don't know if we're gonna have to replay what we already did or it'll let us go farther than where we were, but I guess we'll see when we get there. And then afterward it'll probably be more Armored Core. Hopefully I'll finish my first playthrough like soonish. I mean, they nerfed the boss, so we'll see. And then yeah. And then I guess what we're going to do after that, we'll figure out what the schedule goes. So, later, toodaloo!